How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the last bastion of sanity for this portion of the internet, the Last Vox. My name, of course, is Matt, and, as the title says, I have a full house of crazy. But, really quick, some breaking news. Pete Buttigieg, Pete Butthole, whatever you want to call him, is apparently dropping out of the presidential race. I don't know why. He's third. Okay, so Biden won the last whatever they had, but he's still third. It's Sanders, and then Biden's polls tanked. So I think he's second. Why would you fucking drop out? I have an article about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But before we get any farther, let's say hello to the beautiful people who are in chat. So we got Za was here first. How's it going, Za? Za actually had my link posted in my Discord before I even had a chance to do it. So apparently he's on top of things. Penn was second. How's it going, Penn? I hope you got your cleaning done. I know I did, or else I wouldn't be doing this. Mitzi just says, damn it, because she was third. And B-Token, how's it going? Was number 4, and China is 5th. I didn't know the entirety of China was watching this. That would be cool. Ray is here. How's it going, Ray? Ben, how's it going? Malik, long time. I have some fun stories cooking up for you guys today. Don't worry about that. Steve is here. How's it going, Steve, my man? Ishtar, how's it going, darling? Please do not buy every flower you see while you're at Home Depot. It would not be good for us. Bloomberg could have paid him off. Mayor Pete is only a 100,000-aire, where Bloomberg is a multi-millionaire. Bloomberg may have just kind of thrown some ducats his way. Who knows? So I guess we'll find out. How's it going, Zeal Gold? You saw me typing and thought the link was ready? Yeah. I like to do more than just kind of post the link out there, give it a little tagline going. Kind of entertaining, maybe catch your eye a little bit. So I have had a really interesting couple of days on Twitter. And I really do need to come up with like a segue into the crazy shit that happens on Twitter. But I am going to, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to scan some pictures. We're going to go through some pictures. Now, the first one I actually saw on Facebook first. And I don't want to alarm you, but I don't know if you guys are ready this early in the morning for something that is going to break your brain. Alright? So, you know how the joke is that you're actually a skeleton inside of a flesh suit? I found one better. You don't have a skeleton inside of you. You're a brain. You are inside of a skeleton. You're piloting a bone mech that's using meat armor. I saw this, one of the first things in the morning that I saw, and I stared at it for about 10 minutes. My brain just did not want to comprehend what it was saying. So, yeah, it and now looking at it again, the only thing I can see is the mole that is on the side of this lady's face. And I just want to take, tweezers to it and pull it off. Well, as I thought about it more, it does kind of make sense, but it's still wrong. So you are a brain, and you are piloting a bone mech that is using meat armor. But the bone mech is the meat armor is more muscle armor. You're not necessarily piloting the skeleton, you're piloting the muscles. So you're a brain that is piloting a muscle inside around a bone mech that is using meat armor. So yeah, it's a thing. It was too much for me first thing in the morning. So I'm giving you this fun stuff first because when I say I have a full house, I have a list of articles. My opening monologue's not going to be that long because I don't really have much to talk about other than this crazy stuff. How's it going, Red Feather? I want to get to everything because there's an article in here that I've been waiting to. I keep pushing it back and pushing it back. So I hope you guys will enjoy today's show and all the craziness that I'm going to bring you. So I'm bringing you some memes first. Memes from Twitter. Some craziness from Twitter. And then we'll get into the news. And we'll talk about Mayor Pete and things like that. So let's get away from the meat skeleton. Okay. So I don't know if you guys follow the quartering. This is some world-renowned hypocrisy here. But if you follow the quartering on Twitter, there's been a whole DMCA thing going on, a flagging thing going on. I don't know the details of it, but I do know that Keemstar, that wonderful man of moral and principle, has decided to go after the quartering for some stupid fucking reason. Yeah, I never really watched Keemstar. I know who he is specifically because of all the drama that he gets himself into. So here's what's going on. Keemstar accused the quartering of lying. And this is the gist of what I'm getting. The quartering went through and showed all of his reports and everything like that, and either they'd already been taken care of, and yeah, I don't watch Jeremy that much either. There are some things that I watch of him still, but to be honest, the quartering stuff is really just, I don't want to say boring, but you can tell it just by the title exactly what takes he's going to have, so it's kind of predictable. And so the quartering went through, showed all of his flagging and reporting and things like that, and he's had some things that he's reported and flagged down, I guess, but they've been taken care of, or the videos were taken down, or whatever it is. But as of right now, he's got no active DMCA takedowns. So, Keemstar is accusing him of lying. So, the quartering shows up and says, I have good authority. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me get to a different one first. So, where is it? Okay. There it is. So, Keemstar, in DMs to someone, says there's actually a reason why he asked him that if he's a big deal about flagging a 15-year-old kid. Nobody knows who JD is. This is the person that supposedly the quartering flagged down. For all we know, he could be a registered sex offender. How would you know? Is JD? Or I know Jeremy, his last name is Hambley, so I don't know who D is, but he could be a registered sex offender. How would you know? This is true. He filed false legal documents to shut down a video of a 15-year-old kid poking fun at him, calling him a pedo. Why? Why would he do that? Does he touch kids? So we have a accusation of pedophilia from Keemstar, which the logic is because you denied it. Yeah, because you denied it, it must be true. You know, I've dealt with other people that believe that shit, that if you deny something... Oh, just Destiny? Okay. but that's the theory, right? Just because you deny something, it's got to be true. It's not a secret, but it's openly widely known that Ishtar and I are now dating. We've been dating for over a year. Before any of this happened, because we had such good rapport on her streams, because we had good rapport on MSNBC, we had people basically saying, well, we had a couple of people, a couple of dumbasses, who took that as we were an item instead of good friends. And I basically said, no, we're not. Because we aren't. We weren't at the time. And they took that as, well, you denied it, so it must be true. And you keep denying it, so it must be really true. Why would you deny something like that if it's not true? Here, let me explain something to the people who believe that stupid shit. I denied it because it wasn't true. It's really that simple. Yeah, so for these idiots, it's basically that, Ray. 1 + 1 equals... It's not even 1 + 1 equals 3. It's 1 + 1 equals 553,221. They're so fucking far off base. But, so, Keemstar has an accusation of being Just Destiny being a pedo. Awesome. Well, he does the same kind of thing with... He does that with Jeremy. And that's what this is. And that's what Jeremy is talking about. I have it on good authority that Keemstar browses truly disgusting porn sites. You know, kiddie stuff. Unless he makes a dedicated video showing every PC in his home browsing history, I will assume it's true. Even then, it's likely he uses a super secret PC. Keemstar logic. Apparently, Mr. Drama Alert, Mr. Hundreds of thousands of followers, Mr. Big Brained over here, doesn't understand when his own logic is being used against him. Because he responded to the quartering with, so triggered, you've been bullied into making false pedo allegations. It's really getting pathetic now, Jeremy. I know you did it, just admit it, and stop the crying. So Jeremy went live, and I do mean he just live streamed it, that he showed all of his stuff. Unedited. And you saw he had more accounts than just his... I think he has like 4 main accounts. He had like 10. And he showed every single one. And there wasn't a single thing on it. So that was the argument from Keemstar, that he had a different computer, that he had a different account that flagged it down. That he's not showing anyone. So he's just going to assume it's true. What people are trying to say is what people were responding to Keemstar with were basically, no, you fucking moron. He's using your own logic against you. You've said this. Basically what they're saying is that no amount of proof, even him going live and showing you, is good enough for you to admit that you were fucking wrong. And I've been dealing with someone who has gone under this scope as well. Not to this level, but it brings up that whole, it doesn't matter what you do, you're always, the person can never say they're wrong. So I used to be part of the commentary community, okay? I used to be part of it, and I do consider it a community. We all did the same thing, all right? In the commentary community, and with Antoine Snark, okay, it was not hard to be that overbearing, to think that I'm always right. Now, I did my best, which is why the videos were always so long and there wasn't really that viral opportunity because of how long they were, is because I used to like to show the full context of things. So if it was someone's video, I would go through and pick out the parts, and very rarely would I take anything out of the video. Like, editing a Riley Dennis video was fucking horrible because of all the jump cuts that he used. it was impossible to get to the point without leaving something out. But that's what I would try and do. So I could say, okay, look, this is what you said. I'm going to refute that. Here are some links to refute that. In the commentary community, what started happening is this whole thing about never admitting when you're wrong. Even if you're shown blatantly that you are wrong, there is evidence to the contrary of everything that you say. Never admit that you're wrong. And unfortunately, because that mentality went through so many people, the commentary community has turned into a toxic dumpster fire that will never be put out because these idiots cannot admit that they're wrong about things. Okay? All they have to do is assert that they have their truth, and that's all it is. No matter what I say, no matter what I do about it, no matter how much evidence I have, they're right, I'm wrong. And I've had a friend of mine go through the same exact thing. You know, he's admitted when he's wrong. He has someone else basically saying, you know, basically, I'm right, you're wrong, no matter what. And I know that Keemstar has caused a couple of people to stop uploading videos. He's not going to affect Jeremy. All right, this is going to be a Twitter spat. I had to learn the hard way that Twitter is not real life, which is why I tell you guys that. Twitter is not real life. If you can take something and put it down or delete it off of your phone or never look on it on your computer, it's not going to affect you. So that's kind of the thing that's frustrating. And I'm glad I've left that portion of what it is, because I like doing this. I like talking to you guys. I like bringing up articles, bringing up stuff that's funny, stuff that I can go off of. And that's why I stopped kind of doing the videos, like the crazy videos with the woo science and stuff like that. That's easy to debunk. That's just fun. Talking, you know, schooling a MGTOW on something. Man, I could basically just one arm tied behind my back and slap the shit out of these people. Well, I'm glad we affect you, Steve. I hope it's in a good way. But, see, that's the difference, Steve. You and I, not only do we talk here, you know, we go back and forth. I've talked to you personally on this podcast, or stream, whatever you want to call it, the show. I've talked to you on Twitter. I believe I've talked to you on Twitter. I've talked to you on Discord. It's more than just that. It's more communication. And I'm talking about the people that you don't ever deal with except on Twitter that are nothing but haters. And I have a few, and I don't care. But you have to understand, and like I said, I had to learn this the really hard way. People who don't like you are not going to change their mind. And the people that don't like me, and a lot of you know who they are, I'll never change their mind. And I don't care that I won't change their mind. And that's what I had to learn. And that's what a lot of these people need to learn that take Twitter so fucking seriously. The saying, I know it's kind of a meme, but haters are going to hate you, no matter what. Perfect example, all right? Orange man bad, right? We hear that all the fucking time. Trump is horrible. Trump is the worst. Trump supporters are racist, bigots, blah, blah, blah. There is a Trump supporter who goes around cleaning up homeless areas, cleaning up trash heaps, cleaning up garbage, feeding the homeless. And he has people from Antifa just trying to get him shut down. They hate him specifically because he supports Trump. They can't see past that. So that's the saying, haters are going to hate. And I hope if, like Steve says, if I do affect you guys, I hope it's in a good way. Oh yeah, and Red Feather's right. Trump is now spreading the coronavirus. On top of that, I have it. Where is it? On the dumbest fucking thing. Hold on, let me find it. Am I in my... No, okay. Yeah, Malik, you're exactly right. So, okay, we all know that how's it going, Wren? That Trump has said that his vice president Pence is in control of fighting the coronavirus. You guys, this is the dumbest fucking thing that I think I have ever seen. This is peak Vox. Okay? Not the last Vox. Not this show. This is peak fucking Vox. Aaron Rapar, who is a journalist, a journalist, and I'm using that in giant quotes, for Vox.com. This dumb motherfucker has 243,000 followers. And what does he care about with the coronavirus? He cares about that the board of the people who are trying to fight the coronavirus task force, has 16 men and no women. That's what he's worried about. I'm sorry. No. In this fucking instance, meritocracy is something that needs to take center stage. I don't care if there are 100 other women who are almost as good as the 16 guys, doctors and scientists that are on this panel. I don't care if they're almost as good just because they have a vagina. What we need, so we stop people from panicking over this thing, is we need basically the best of the best. I know, and also it doesn't. There's one black dude, and maybe a No, I'm sorry. There are two black dudes. So this fucking meat puppet is more worried the fact that there are no women on this task force than defeating an epidemic. Because let's be honest, with how fast this shit is rising, I can comfortably say it is an epidemic. Alright? But all he can do is he can talk about nothing but his fucking social justice fucking narrative. Are you fucking kidding me? Honestly. Put that bullshit aside and actually try and, I don't know, fucking help humanity? But no. We need to have some long hairs in there. We need to have some brown people in there. We need one more black person. We should also possibly, just possibly, have some slanty-eyed people in there. But, you know, there's... Jesus Christ, these idiots. But... where is it? Here we go. To follow that up, there were jokes about it before, right? That eventually they're going to get to a point where they're saying that if you don't let someone who has corona, who is of Oriental descent, cough on you, or give you the virus, it's going to be considered xenophobia or racism or bigotry or whatever. I want you guys to know, this is from NBC News. Official NBC News, okay? It's verified on Twitter. They're a check mark. You're going to love this. Now, I don't have the article because I don't want to actually kill you guys in your seats. But hundreds of people gathered in San Francisco's Chinatown on Saturday to march against xenophobia caused by fears of the coronavirus outbreak. I'm going to let that sink in, guys. You are a xenophobic bigot if you believe that the coronavirus was being spread by Asians. You know, even though factually that's exactly what it was. It's... How's it going, Siri? I saw you earlier. I was in the middle of a little rant, so I didn't actually get a chance to say hello. I think you said Tom is listening, maybe? So how's it going, Tom? He's sorting magic again. Of course he is. And yes, we are fucked. No, Ishtar, darling, I have not seen the article where it's sexist to, or whatever they're going to claim if you ask someone to dance. How's it going, Ferguson? Turd Ferguson says, you're such a transphobe. What about the alphabet people representation? Well, I wasn't going to assume their sexuality, Turd, so they could be gay, but you do understand Pence is the head of that task force. So if it is if they are having that representation, we know that there's the, bzzz, bzzz, and he's going to force it out of him with that electrotherapy. So I don't understand this. It is xenophobic. It's xenophobic to not want to get sick. Okay, so yes. Ray got into it with Ian Miles Chong the other day on Twitter about masks. Okay? So let me clear something up about the masks. The masks are not going to help you. Okay? The masks are not going to help. Why do doctors wear masks? Doctors wear masks so that when they are operating on people, they don't spit or have their saliva jump into the open wound that they're working on so that they don't contaminate. If you have a mask on, what's going to happen is the people who are coughing on you, it's going to catch on that mask. Now, this virus has a 9-hour lifespan outside of the body. So unless you have that mask on and don't deal with anybody who coughs on you for 9 hours or breathes on you or looks at you in the wrong direction. Oh, and let's not forget, breathes on you and you don't have goggles on, it's going to stay on that mask. And when you pull it off, it's going to be on your hands. And then you're 9 days. Okay, 9 days lifespan, not 9 hours. I have been corrected. So 9 days, it's going to be on your hands. And then if you don't wash your hands thoroughly and wipe it on your face, or you wipe your pants, or you touch your mouth, or whatever, it's going to get inside you. And then it has a 21-day incubation period, from 14 to 21 days. All right, cool. That's why the mask doesn't work. So it's not necessary. The best way to avoid coronavirus, aside from being an introvert, aside from that, basically what you need to do is treat it like it's the flu. I don't mean when you get it, treat it like it's the flu. If you actually get flu-like symptoms, go to the hospital. If they tell you you have corona, they will do their best to help you. The people who are being mostly affected and the people who are dying are the very young and the very old and those with weak immune systems. Okay? The very first U.S. case of corona was in Washington because of SeaTac International Airport. Now, you treat it like you would during flu season. You wash your hands. You wash them thoroughly. If someone has been coughing on you, you wash your hands, you wash your arms, you take a shower every day. It is the simplest thing to do to prevent the disease from getting to you. Now, doing that is not going to guarantee that you're not going to get it, but it will boost your immune system. It will make it less likely that you'll get it. Okay? That's the best thing to do. Yes, every day. Now, okay, every day unless you don't leave the house. If you don't leave the house and you're just wafting around in your own swamp ass, well, that's up to you. So I don't get this right here. I don't get the whole march. Look, if they cared more about their actual streets and about their actual people, maybe they wouldn't have to worry about having a poop patrol in San Francisco. Okay? It's worry about the needles on the ground. Worry about the poop that's everywhere. Worry about the homeless. They're just now starting to care about the homeless. All of this stuff is absolutely ridiculous. But it is what it is. people, the news isn't helping. Okay, the people who, someone who's been keeping up on it and keeping things going and talking about it, but not really talking about it, just kind of showing it and saying his own, his own opinions, but not really anything, is Mr. Medicare. Mr. Medicare is bringing all this stuff up, but he's not really he's not giving anything positive out. It's all just negative. It's all his opinion saying that it's, Corona-chan is taking over the world. Instead of scaring people, maybe have it be, I don't know, actual news. Zio Gold asks, have leftists called hygiene racist yet? Technically. The whole gamer thing, tabletop gamers, card gamers, video gamers, because at conventions, like at a Magic tournament, there's a lot of BO. It is offensive. So, it's been called oppressive, offensive, racist because it's white people. So yeah, they've gone with hygiene, getting it called racist, because everything is racist, everything is sexist, everything is homophobic, and they have to point it all out. Oof, I didn't think I'd ever say that again. Yeesh. Just this time I didn't have an accent doing it. Alright. So, yes, guys, if you're listening to this and you are afraid of having... Washington State has declared a state of emergency because one person died. Okay, one. Not 100, not 1,000, not even 10,000. One. They are scaring people. Okay? You can't get scared by this. You have to keep your head. The panic is what's going to get people hurt. So if you actually go and see your stores and the water is out, if you feel comfortable and it makes you feel a little bit better, buy a thing of water. Okay? Buy 2 cases of water, buy a case of water. Don't go and buy like 18 cases of water. You're never going to use it. Alright? Buy a case of water. Buy some extra canned goods or dried goods when you're at the stores. Damn it, Ray. Ray says many stores are suffering with people doing runs on water, food, condoms, and coconut oil. The quarantine is stuff. But I know the water doesn't expire, but to make yourself feel better, buy a case of water, buy some extra dry goods, buy a can of beans, buy canned soup, stuff like that. Make yourself feel better, put it aside, don't eat it. If something does happen, then that's what you need to do. Okay? That's the best thing I can say. It's not necessarily something that needs to be pandemic levels of panic. And a lot of these news stations aren't saying that. They want the clicks, they want the rage, they want the fear, and it's not great. So, buy a little bit of extra stuff, wash your hands, take showers. Just generally good hygiene should actually get you through this epidemic without much care. Okay? Just remember to stay knowledgeable on this. Okay? Take it seriously, but seriously enough. Yeah, Eternal Tumbleweed, how's it going? If you take care of yourself and if you have a healthy immune system, you're probably going to be okay. This is a very, very hard and very contagious version of the flu. Okay? It's another version. The symptoms are the same as the flu. The people who are dying are the very young, the very old, and people with compromised immune systems. So, don't panic. Keep your wits about you. You'll be fine. Now, let's laugh at something, because it keeps coming up. And this happens to come from Liverpool. The University of Liverpool. I don't know. And they're using They're using the updated flag. Oh, I don't know. You know, stay away from the canned bat soup. Do the live mouse bisque. The live mouse bisque is actually a little bit more healthy for you. They put the mice in live, so when it gets canned and they eventually start to suffocate and panic, all their bowels get excavated, and it adds some flavor and spice to the soup when you start eating it. So, and then, you know, the flavors and everything start seeping into their wool, their fur and inside them. So when you bite into it, it's a nice juicy bite. Yes, it is gluten-free, turd. So, okay. Riley Dennis has said this, and it came up a couple of months ago again. I think I talked about it on the last Vox, actually. Genital preferences are transphobic, everyone. That's right, if you're a... That's right, if you are a heterosexual male or a heterosexual female and you only like vagine or penor, you're transphobic. Did you know that? If you don't like a guy who has breast augmentation and still has a penis and you don't consider him a woman, you're transphobic. If you don't want to date him, you're even more transphobic. This is stupid. This keeps coming up, and it's still stupid every fucking time I see it. And yes, gay people. No, that's the argument, Tom. The last article I talked about on this, I believe, was from Vice. They said that gay people are transphobic because they will not date a man with a vagina because, you know, they like cock. You know, there's only so much you can do, but preferences are transphobic. Now, let me translate what this actually says, okay? The person who put this up is actually saying, the Z or Zer that I find really hot doesn't want to fuck me, so I have to guilt them into wanting to fuck me. Now, here's the thing. That's a real legit thing. There was a guy... I can't, let me see if I can find it. But basically, there was a guy that, it was a Twitter post. That's all it was. I don't think there was an article attached. But there was a girl he really, really liked. Alright? But she was a dyed-in-the-wool lesbian. He guilted her into being in a sexual relationship with him by claiming he was a woman. And it was transphobic of her not to date him. That's some fucked up shit. These people are fucking insane. But what I like is they're using the updated flag. So in the upper left-hand corner, you have the pansexual colors. I think it's pansexual. I also think that possibly could be map colors. I don't know. Then the rainbow flag with the black and the brown, because we have to have, put your fist up in the air, representation for the people of color. And then you have the regular LGBTQ flag. This is the dumbest fucking thing I think I can ever see. The white, the pink, and the light baby blue, I believe is for maps. But I'm not sure. So don't quote me on that. Alright, so I said we were going to talk about Mayor Pete. And we are going to talk about Mayor Pete. Let me pull it up here. I cannot believe he's actually dropping out. Like I said, he's, okay, so light pink, blue, and white is transgender flag? Okay, like I said, I wasn't sure. Don't quote me on it. I have been corrected. So, because it's the, they just had, they had Super Tuesday or whatever, or there was another caucus where Biden apparently swept, like in a landslide, but his polling tanked. So that would mean if his polling tanked, that means it would go Sanders, Buttigieg, whatever, and then it would go Bloomberg, and then it would go Biden, and then Warren, and then Steyer dropped out, and Klobuchar is still in for some fucking reason. Does anybody know who she actually is? No one knows who Klobuchar is because all she is a copy and paste fucking Democrat. It doesn't matter. But they finally outed Pete as a white male. I don't know. I tend to believe that Za is right. That I think Bloomberg kind of shuffled him some lettuce underneath the table and was like, you know what? If you drop out now, I can guarantee Bernie isn't going to get elected. But let's see what it says. So this is from Fox News. Take it how you want it. Buttigieg exits presidential race ahead of Super Tuesday, cementing collapse after strong Iowa showing. Yeah, his name is pronounced whatever. So Pete Buttigieg told supporters he's ending his presidential campaign on Sunday. So today, campaign sources confirmed to Fox News in an abrupt and surprising pullout that further narrows the field of Democrats less than a month after he declared victory in the contested Iowa caucuses. You know, it's probably something he doesn't necessarily do that much with his life partner. I mean, there's not much worry about him pulling out anyway. So, Buttigieg had been scheduled to headline a rally in Dallas on Sunday night. The charter plane has been rerouted to South Bend, Indiana, where Buttigieg will announce that he is dropping out, Fox News has learned. Buttigieg's withdrawal comes just days before 14 states are set to head to the polls on Super Tuesday, where 1/3 of all delegates for the nomination will be at stake. His exit will likely harm frontrunner Bernie Sanders by providing a coalescing boost to more moderate candidates, as Buttigieg had gone off on the offensive against the Vermont senator and sought to appeal the centrist base of the party, which is actually a good thing. I mean, going up against the socialist narrative that Bernie Sanders has been pushing and going against the very, very far left Elizabeth Warren and she's not going to get the nomination, you know. How's it going, Nathan? So yeah, it's bye-bye Mayor Pete. But, so how it works is there is a certain amount of delegates that they need to become the candidate, okay? And before it gets to the actual DNC convention, one of them needs to have, I think it's 1,900 something delegates. It's either 1,100 or it's 1,193 or 1,900 and something. But it's a high fucking number. So, does it actually say how much they need? It doesn't look like they say how many. Does not say. Thank you very much for being so helpful, Fox. But they need a shit ton of the delegates to become the major frontrunner uncontested. Okay? Nobody even has close to the number that they need. Polls are actually showing that basically no one is more likely to get the nomination than even Sanders. It's like 2-1 that no one is going to get it. And basically, I think it's 4-1 for Sanders, and it was like 6-1 for Buttigieg, and I think it's like 11 or 10-1 for Bloomberg, and then Elizabeth Warren is less than 100, or I think greater than 100-1. So, yeah, she's so far down at the bottom, she might as well be kissing on Klobuchar. But if they don't get to the convention with the amount of delegates, that means the super PACs can come in. Now, the super PACs carry about 2,500 delegates. The super PACs also carry about a shit ton of money. That is an actual logistical term, shit ton of money. It's with the amount of super PACs and the delegates that they bring, it's a mega shit ton of money that they put behind the campaign of the Democrats. So What Bloomberg is hoping is that he can last to the convention uncontested, because then his money might be able to lure the super PACs to give him the delegates. Now, the delegates then will determine at the end of that who actually becomes the front runner. So that's why Warren is hanging out. That's why Klobuchar is hanging out. Pete should have hung out too. But basically, this is all kind of a thing to kind of fuck over Bernie Sanders, which I think is fucking hilarious, because they're doing it again. And unfortunately, I agree with them doing it this time, because we can't let Sanders anywhere near the White House. Okay? He's going to just destroy this fucking country. But, let's see. And Mayor Pete was, I guess you could say, I would call him a moderate, not necessarily a centrist. He did have some far lefty ideas like Medicare for all, but he was starting to push back against that stuff, and it was doing a good job. How's it going, Cinder? So yeah, it's the 2016 election all over again. It'll be even funnier if they do push Warren, because then he'll lose to Warren, and then he'll have lost to a woman again. Now, here's my thing. I don't think... Okay, so Biden swept in the last caucus. In the South Carolina caucus. Swept. He won by a landslide. But his polls, according to sources, tanked. He dropped. Like like a fucking rock. Right? So he wins, but no one wants to elect him. Because we know, if we elect Biden, we're basically electing the vice president. And that's kind of what we're worried about with Sanders, too. I'm not sure what Biden is running for. I know he said that he is running for Senate. I think he believes he's running for Senate. He doesn't understand that the presidency needs to be elected. And he's talking about voting for the other Biden. Check him out. What other Biden? Is Hunter Biden suddenly going to show up? I don't know. If Hunter Biden shows up, well, they need to stop ragging on Donald Trump Jr. then. I don't know about, you know what? If Biden becomes president, his vice president, I give Biden a month. I give him 8 weeks before we have the vice president basically saying, you know what, you need to declare him mentally incompetent, because I do honestly 100% believe this dude has either dementia outright, or he has the beginnings of it, and it's only going to get worse, and it gets worse fast. So I don't think Biden is going to get it. I don't think he's going to get the nomination. He doesn't have the strength behind it. Bernie Sanders is a weak candidate. He got kicked off his own stage again. Now, I will admit, this time he did tell them no at first, and then, this tiny little girl decided to take the microphone from him, and then her buddies showed up and, topless, and gave everybody a good show. I think that's the only reason that Sanders let them on, is because, hey, every guy likes looking at the tatas. Why do you think I have 2 female co-hosts on Tuesday? Big brain right there. But, so what it looks like with Buttigieg leaving is we have, it's going to be between Sanders, Bloomberg, and Warren. I'm not counting Biden in that, because he doesn't even know what the fuck he's doing half the time. So those are the 3 front runners, and they're hoping, I know for a fact Bloomberg is hoping that he can get the super PACs to give him the delegates he needs to become the candidate. And if he is the candidate, the very first debate, I may actually set aside time to live stream that shit. Because it's going to be a dumpster fire. It's going to be a hot summer Atlantic sweaty dumpster fire with nothing but just fat and clothes and gasoline setting it ablaze. It's never going to stop. Trump is just going to slap Bloomberg around like he is a fucking child. And why do I think Bloomberg is going to actually get the nomination? Because of the talks of him choosing Hillary Clinton as his VP. Okay? These are I'm using a term from Tim Pool. These are establishment Democrats that are basically going to toe the line for the Democratic Party. They're not progressive. They're not even liberal. They're establishment. They want to stay in. They want things the way they are. I mean, there is the fact that he just paid off Mayor Pete, so there's that. Yes, Nathan is right. If Bloomberg picks Hillary, just keep in mind he did not kill himself when she suddenly finds him dead. All right, so get prepared, guys. The Democratic debates are only going to get worse. Get your popcorn if you want to watch them. But the three front runners, because I'm not counting Biden in this, are going to be Bloomberg, Sanders, and Warren. Yeah, the superdelegates are picked by the DNC, but they actually get a choice. So if Bloomberg is going to toe the line more than, say, Warren, they'll pick Bloomberg. If they really want to tank this election, they'll pick Warren. Because Warren and Trump on a debate stage is also going to be a dumpster fire. The only one, honestly, and this is my honest opinion, it was the same thing in 2016. On a debate stage, Bernie Sanders can hold his own against Donald Trump. Out of all of the people that are still there, he's the only one that can face Trump and not look like a chump and have Trump walk the fuck all over him. But let's get to some other stuff. I could talk politics for the next hour, which is really sad because I was hoping that I was going to have a guest this week. I got into it with someone about politics on Twitter. I know, shocker, right? And basically, I challenged them to come on here, and instead of being that keyboard warrior we know they all are, actually speak out and say their piece. Never got a hold of me, and I don't think they ever will, but it's fine. It's fine. It's only like the 8th person I've asked about that, and they never come on. Okay, so I want to lighten the mood. We just talked about some really serious stuff. The coronavirus. We talked about politics. We talked about LGBT stuff. Do you guys want some more advice? I know I'm really good at giving advice, but do you guys want some advice that you didn't think you needed? I'm gonna be really calm about this one. Nope, not a Florida man. I know you're dying for one. I don't think I have one this week for the last Vox, but of course there's always MSNBC, which is guaranteed to have Florida man articles just for your listening pleasure. But here you go. Here's some advice, straight from me to you, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're trans, whether you're pansexual, whatever you are. The best advice I can give, and doctors agree with me, is do not put frozen potatoes in your butthole. This article comes straight from our resident person who is making sure the FBI are on their toes from his browsing history. This comes straight from Ben C. Doctors are warning people not to put frozen potatoes in their butt. I didn't know this needed to be advice, but I thought I would let you guys know that this advice was needed. yeah, don't put spuds up your bum. I didn't know this was a thing. I know that women like to stick a whole bunch of weird things in their hoo-has, but I guess this is for everyone. If you have a butt, don't stick a spud up there. Doctors have issued warnings against putting frozen potatoes in your anus. I don't know if she's here, Nathan, but I'll say it anyway. $10 from Nathan Marcano. Canada isn't real. I happen to agree. Canada is nothing but a mass hallucination of Northern America, and we need to get them to wake up, people. Break the conditioning. How's it going, damn alien? It doesn't say anything about cucumbers. I don't know. If you bake a potato, I mean, then it gets all mushy. I don't know if that'll actually go up there. Ah, there she is. This comes as an increasing number of hemorrhoid sufferers have reportedly taken to the internet to seek alternative solutions to their problem instead of consulting doctors. Because we all know that the internet has all of the answers that you should always follow 100% of the time, because the internet would not lie to you. We're going to get to why these are hemorrhoid sufferers, so we're going to get to why they would stick a potato up their butt. I'm kind of curious myself. Now, it has emerged that an altogether unusual solution is being touted online, that inserting frozen potatoes in your anus for 30 minutes is the answer. Now, this kind of goes with the last time I talked about something you're not supposed to stick in, girls are not supposed to stick in your vaginas, and that was popsicles. I'm assuming it's the same thing. Sticking your tongue to a frozen telephone or a frozen pole is the same effect you're going to get by sticking a popsicle up your vagina. It's probably also the same effect you're going to get by sticking a frozen spud up your butt. Yeah, don't cram shit where it ain't supposed to go. Per Wales Online, one article claims, here's what you need to do. Peel a raw potato and cut into thin slices like you do for French fries. I don't like where this is going already. Put the slices into the freezer and wait until they are frozen. Or, if you're really going to do this, go to the store and buy frozen fries. Well, they've basically said not to stick. I mean, don't stick wasp nests in your vagina. Don't stick popsicles. Don't do toothpaste. There was a bunch of stuff that they've said not to stick into your vagina. Insert the frozen potato slice in your anus and leave it inside for 30 seconds. Repeat the process for 3 to 5 days. The next 3 to 5 days, leave the slice inside for 30 seconds more each time. Go for the... Well, then it's not a potato. It's more like a duck penis at that point in time. The article continues. The potatoes have astringent properties and help relieve the pain and itchy sensation which usually happens with this condition, while the ice-cold potato constricts the blood vessels, reduces the swelling, and relieves your pain instantly. Steve says, don't buy frozen fries. Some of those are pre-seasoned. Well, if you're planning on sticking frozen fries up your ass anyway, might as well give it some flavoring. Ray says, this isn't medical advice. They're grooming people for buggery. But doctors have, unsurprisingly, warned against this novel solution. Per the Metro, Dr. Diana Gall of leading online medical service Doctor for You said piles can be piles. I'm assuming that means hemorrhoids, can be an irritating condition, and sufferers are sometimes too embarrassed to seek professional help, turning to old wives' tales instead. Well, okay. The frozen Za asks about frozen McDonald's fries. Do you really? Tumbleweed, I'll get to that first in a second. McDonald's fries are usually heavily salted, so even frozen, are you sure you want to stick frozen over-salted fries up your pooper? Now, tumbleweed feels like satire, right? I check every one of these stupid articles about people sticking things where it shouldn't belong. I checked on this site. There is nothing that says it's satire. So if it's satire, I don't know. They don't state it. But knowing that women stick popsicles up their hoo-has and wasp nests and toothpaste and shit like that, I could believe that there are people dumb enough to try this. Now, there's a simple thing to do if you have hemorrhoids. Go to the doctor, man up, put on your big boy pants, and tell him you have hemorrhoids. He will prescribe you something like Preparation H. It's okay. Lots of people have it. I'm not one of them, but I know my dad had them. It happens. You gotta stop being embarrassed about bodily functions that happen. I don't know what Florida woman put a wasp nest up there. I don't know why they did, but yeah, that was a thing. The doctor continued, there is no medical evidence that putting frozen potatoes inside the anus can cure herpes. So I would urge caution to anyone thinking of doing it. Herpes often goes away on their own after a few days, but there are some tried and trusted ways to keep them at bay. You should drink plenty of fluids and maintain a fiber-rich diet and try having regular warm baths to ease itching and pain. If home treatments do not banish your herpes, it is advised to go to your doctor and explore alternative treatments. However, frozen potatoes are not the only novel hemorrhoid treatment being circulated online, because of course it's not. Some people have also praised the power of CBD oil in treating the condition, because CBD oil is apparently the miracle cure-all, which is the new snake oil for all of the woo peddlers out there. But yeah, I'm not gonna. So, that is advice because I care about you guys. I care that you are not hurting yourselves. Oh, herpes. I'm sorry. Have I been saying herpes the last few times? Hemorrhoids. Not herpes. Hemorrhoids. Sorry. Thank you for keeping me honest. My mistake. All right, so straight from me to you guys, and doctors everywhere, do not put frozen fries up your butt to cure your hemorrhoids. Okay? Don't do it. It's not going to help. I mean, if you want to do it for kicks, if you want to do it because you think it's going to give you a thrill there, Steve, I'm not going to tell you no. My whole thing is don't do anything I wouldn't do. And that list of what I wouldn't do is pretty small. Why do I have herpes on the mind? I was talking to the Finer Print on Twitter, and we were talking about the, someone posted, repeating it over and over and over, of trans women can have periods too. And my response was, no, they can't. No, they really can't. Over and over and over again. So Finer Print responded with, what, you don't bleed from your penis once a month? And I was like, no, I'm one of them there normal people that don't bleed out their penis once a month. And he goes, why do people keep telling me that? I said, you might want to get that checked out. Sounds like you have that gonorrhea. He said, yeah, it sounds right. I said, yeah, if it starts turning a purple color and bleeds once a month, it may be too late. So that's kind of why sexual diseases are on the mind. Gonorrhea kind of just covers everything. All right. Okay, so we're going to get to this article that I've been wanting to talk about. And a lot of people talk about how we're going to be talking about feminism again, so strap in. This is going to be a fun article. And by fun, I mean you're going to want to tear your hair out. But a lot of the times, it's said that feminism and third wave feminism and the progressive left, or as I like to call them, the regressive left, are trying to destroy the nuclear family. I've talked about it on here before a couple of times. Now, what is the nuclear family? The nuclear family is a husband, a wife, 2.5 kids, a pet, and a white picket fence around a 2.5 bedroom house. Or a 3-bedroom house. That's what's considered the quote-unquote nuclear family. And it works. There are studies that have shown that having a mother and a father in the household has a lot of impact on how a person is raised. Someone who grows up in a single-parent home, being raised by their mother, has a 19% more chance of dropping out of school, a 20% more chance of getting into gangs and getting into criminal activities, and a 40% more chance later in life of, because of those percentages, going to prison. It's not a good thing. So, so that's the nuclear family. I have an article. This is from Vice, so just be prepared. So be prepared what this is. It's from Vice. And I'm assuming this is the woman that wrote the article. And her name is Marie Solis. We can't have... Well, Malik, MGTOW preaches about feminism doing this all the time. Here's an article for them. I'll put it in the chat if you want. We can't have a feminist future without abolishing the family. The feminist thinker Sophie Lewis has a radical proposal for what comes next. Now, this is an extremely long article. I'm not going to go through all of it. But here, if you know anybody who wants it, Malik, go for it. Yeah, this... A little more than 2 weeks before I planned to meet the feminist theorist Sophie Lewis, her mother died. She had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in March, requiring Lewis to travel back and forth between her home in Philadelphia and a hospital in the UK, a journey she technically wasn't allowed to make due to the pending status of her green card. When her mother passed away in late November, she did so thousands of miles away, while Lewis and her brother sang the Taylor Swift song Safe and Sound to her over Skype. That's actually really sad. I feel bad for Miss Lewis. I had a parent of mine die from cancer. I know it's not fun, and not being there, I also know I wasn't thousands of miles away, but it's not something that you can ever really let go of. You don't get that closure you need. Earlier that month, at a lecture in Lower Manhattan hosted by the arts journal E-Flux, Lewis, who is 31, reflected on what some might see as an obvious irony to her crisscrossing the ocean to care for her ailing mother. Verso Books had just published her first book, Full Surrogacy Now, a polemic that calls for abolishing the family. Taylor Swift already knows shit's gonna get cringe. Yeah. In 2019, in addition to its more general geopolitical ghoulishness, has been a difficult one for this particular family abolitionist. Lewis told the audience of about 2 dozen. It's been surreal because the temporal coincidence of the full surrogacy launch with this unprecedented requirement for me that I be at my closest bio-relative's bedside. Bio-relative? What? Come on. Call her your mother, you trendy wannabe hipster fuck. Brought to the stakes of my subject matter to life with almost unbearable intensity. If I ever called my mother bio-relative, I would have got smacked in the back of the head. If I would have called my dad my bio-relative, he would have called me a fucking moron while he laughed. The book and its core premise has gained widespread attention from feminists and regressive leftists, not actually mainstream attention, from leftist publications, called it, like Jacobin and The Nation, all the way to Fox News' Tucker Carlson, who dedicated a June segment on his primetime show to tearing it down. That's because he knows it's stupid. Recently, the columnist David Brooks declared in The Atlantic that the nuclear family was a mistake. And that's why David Brooks can't get laid. The piece inspired a niche version of a popular Drake meme, with the singer shaking his head in disapproval of Brooks' column in one frame and smiling at full surrogacy now in the next. I gave up after 2 minutes, admittedly, but let it be known that I incredulously started reading it, Lewis tweeted of the Atlantic piece. Like, have we reached David Brooks? When Lewis demands full surrogacy now, she isn't talking about commercial surrogacy, or surrogacy, TM, as she puts it. Instead, she uses the surrogacy industry to build the argument that all gestation is work because of the immense physical and emotional labor it requires of those who do it. She often refers to pregnancy as an extreme sport. I don't know who David Brooks is, and I don't know who this woman is, but she's a goddamn moron. I'm going to read that again for people in the cheap seats. She uses the surrogacy industry to build the argument that all gestation is work because of the immense physical and emotional labor it requires of those who do it. She often refers to pregnancy as an extreme sport. No. Competitive pregnancy? I'd actually like to see that. Actually, I'm pretty sure we can find competitive pregnancy on Pornhub already. If all forms of pregnancy counts as work, we can take a clear-eyed look at our current working conditions. It is a wonder we let fetuses inside us, she says at the start of her book, citing the roughly 1,000 people in the United States who still die as a result of pregnancy and childbirth each year. That sounds like a lot, right? 1,000 people? That's a big number. Do you want to know what a bigger number is? 363 million. 363 million people on the planet. I misspoke. 363 million people in this country. A thousand is 0.00. I did just Joe Biden the Earth. Yes, I know. I corrected myself, though. He didn't. And no one else did either. Okay. 1,000 people is like 0.0001%. Yeah, if it's your wife or your partner that dies, that's sad. Even your mom, like having a younger brother, you're looking forward to having a younger brother or sister and your mom dies during childbirth, that sucks. I feel for you. This is a non-issue. And how many of those 1,000 people who die from childbirth are having home births? Probably quite a few. Oh, here we go. It's mostly poor women or women of color. Not in this fucking country, it's not. Because even poor women on the street, if they are in labor, here's a tip, guys. And I don't necessarily advocate for this because it does cause rates to raise. Oh, okay, so Ray had to do the math for me. I was close. So it's 0.0003%. Here's something, advice for you guys. They keep talking about Medicare for all, right? if you guys are hurt, or if you guys are sick, go to the emergency room. They have to admit you. Yes, it's going to take forever if all you have is the flu. They have to admit you. They have to give you a prescription. They have to treat you. And when they come in and talk to you about financing, you can say, bill me. Now, they will bill you. And since you are uninsured, it will be very expensive. But they will continue to bill you. And then, here's another bonus for you. If it gets high enough, you can use it as a tax write-off. I have done this. Look, if you're pregnant and you go into labor, go to an emergency room, even if you don't have insurance. Guess what? They have special plans for women without insurance who are giving birth. And they will hook you up with WIC, and they will hook you up with everything that you need because you have very low income. And if you happen to be in California, you can actually apply for Medi-Cal, and if you don't qualify for Medi-Cal, you will qualify for Medicare. You just have to file the paperwork. You just have to follow the rules. You have to jump through the hoops. This woman is a fucking moron. I love how she had to throw in woman of color. Because black, brown, Asian, apparently they die more. What? They're 60% of the 0.0003%. The situation is social, not simply natural. Things are like this for political and economic reasons. We made them this way. Yes, feminism. Yes, you did. And so we can also make them different, Lewis argues. She imagines a future where the labor of making new human beings is shared among all of us, mother, no longer being a natural category, but instead something we can choose. Oh, God. You can choose to be a mother now. Listen. There are more birth control options than getting your tubes tied, the pill, and condoms and a vasectomy. There are ridiculous amounts of different contraceptions out there. Some of them extremely cheap. You can choose when you want to be a mother. There are different methods. You can choose whether you want to be a mom or not. This is fucking stupid. What country does this idiot live in? Apparently she lives in the United States and knows nothing about our own healthcare system. I'm assuming she only thinks that there is the pill. Nope, Siri, I refuse to lie to my audience, and that includes you guys. Is this the whole thing? She doesn't want to have a fetus inside her? I honestly wished, and I honestly wish this, that her mother had the same feelings. Because then we wouldn't have to read this article. I wouldn't have to read this article. At this point, surrogacy becomes somewhat metaphorical. Lewis isn't asking that we all agree to physical gestation fetuses that aren't biologically ours. Her radical proposition is what we practice, full surrogacy by abolishing the family. That means caring for each other not in discrete private units, also known as nuclear households, but rather within larger systems of care that can provide us with the love and support we can't always get from blood relations. Something Lewis knows all too well. Communes. She's talking about communes. She wants everyone to live in small communes. Or as normal people call them, a cult. Are you kidding me? Okay. Yep. This woman has lost her goddamn mind. Okay? This bitch wants people to live in communes, wants people to live in small groups that aren't families, but will take care of each other and love and nurture them. And if you get a big enough commune that start to practice a specific religion, you'll get that one leader that will then start saying that to show love and adoration for each other, I need to baptize all of the young women. They must accept me for who I am, and I will baptize them in my nightly bed. Because that's what happens when you start getting these crazy hippie fucking communes that start gathering popularity. Someone becomes the wannabe Jesus acolyte, and he starts taking control, and then we find out that them motherfuckers are sleeping with underage girls, and they end up getting shot or something. This is ridiculous. Nathan Marcano says, make Antoine glorious leader. You know what? I don't think I would want to be glorious leader. Antoine, on the other hand, I'm sure he could figure something out. Tom Leach says, but she can go start a commune. Anyone can. Literally anyone can go practice socialism and whatever the fuck this bitch is talking about on their own scale and leave the rest of us alone. And Tom, that's where we have the issue. She wants everyone to do it first. And this is what I was talking about on Twitter with the idiot. They were talking about Bernie Sanders and AOC and how AOC wants us to do all this shit for the Green New Deal. My argument is, okay, you first. You want us to give up all of our stuff. You want us to give up our planes. You want us to give up our cows. You want us to give up our money for social justice reasons. You first. AOC didn't have to choose to live in a luxury apartment, but she is. On top of that, Bernie Sanders didn't have to buy a third house, but he got one. So that was the argument. Me saying them first was me basically just discrediting everything that they were saying. I was like, no. What they want to propose, if they can do it, cool. They get to take the first step. She doesn't want to take the first step. She wants everyone else to do it so she can take the credit for it. Communes do work with socialism because we're dealing with a group of anywhere from like 10 to 30 people. The bigger ones do get kind of out of hand, and that's when they do kind of become a cult. But the communes work socialist because of the amount of people are there, how small it is. Not necessarily that it will work. See, what they believe is because it can work with those 30 people, it can work for 356 million people. They're idiots. I don't care what people say. They're fucking morons. But yes, let's get rid of the nuclear family. Let's get rid of mom and dad, brothers and sisters, for people who don't really have to care about us. Because we're not blood. We get to choose who they are. Unfortunately, it's not how it works. So let's... Oh, God. I want to get to all these. I don't think I will. But I wanted to get to that one. That one specifically has been held off for a while. Alright. You want to hear something else that sounds like it's satire? Ladies, this is for you. I want you to be safe. We were talking about birth control. I want you to be safe. I want you to be protected. So there is an Indonesian child protection boss who is claiming something, and I want you guys to be protected. So, are you ready for this advice? Please, ladies, do not go swimming in pools with men. You can fall pregnant. I know that sounds ridiculous. I know that sounds like it's impossible. Because, as far as I know, the vagina doesn't work that way. But she swears. Yeah, Wren. She swears. Here we go. I'll read the full thing. This is the Daily Mail. Forgive me for the articles, because they don't like ad block. How's it going, Wolvania? Indonesian child protection boss is ridiculed after claiming women can fall pregnant in swimming pools, even without penetration, if men with strong sperm ejaculate in the water. Yep. They got super sperm. To not only are these sperm just free swimming in chlorine and water and things that actually kill them, but they can detect a female's vagina and the pheromones that are coming off of it from under the water. One drop of female pheromones in the size of a swimming pool will bring them to you. And not only that, but they will be able to punch through your bathing suit and then swim through all of the stuff that in the vagina is trying to kill the sperm. You know, Wren, I know you're saying that's not how any of it works, but she swears that that's how it works. I'm not even gonna... God damn, this name. Siti Hakamawati. Commissioner for Health. She's the Commissioner for the Health of Indonesia. Made the claims during an interview. Hakamawati, whose surname translates to as wisdom, has been ridiculed online. No shit. Doctors have said it's impossible to get pregnant in the way she described. Well, I tried to give you guys good advice, but she swears it. Doctors say it doesn't work. I don't know what to go off of. So it's basically, I'm going to leave it up. I have to believe women. That's the thing that we're promoting on Twitter now, right? Believe women. So we have to believe this woman. We have to believe CT Wisdom. Women can fall pregnant in swimming pools even without penetration if men with strong sperm ejaculate into the water, an Indonesian child protection boss has claimed. Oh God, she should not be the commissioner of this. Siti Hikamawati, the Commissioner for Health, Narcotics, and Addictive Substances at Indonesian Child Protection Commission, the KPAI, made the extraordinary claims in an interview with Tribune Jakarta last week. Miss Wisdom, who has apologized for her comments, saying they were made in a personal capacity after she faced backlash on social media. So she's saying that she experienced this personally. Personally. I don't know how she experienced this personally. You know what, Ray? I would love to test that theory, but we need a hot tub first. If you buy us a hot tub, we'll test it out for you, and I'll let you know on the next Last Vox. Yes, this is a new level of dumb. Doctors in Indonesia have said it would be impossible for women to get pregnant this way, because they have educations and they're not elected in. There is an especially strong type of male sperm that may cause pregnancy in a swimming pool. Okay, so it's a specific... Yes, with Ishtar. So there's a specific type of strong male sperm that is able to do this. You should have said something. Well, a year ago, I probably couldn't have afforded it, Nathan. Even without penetration, men may become sexually excited by women in the pool and ejaculate, therefore causing pregnancy. So, not only is it a specific type of sperm, but these men are so sexually aroused by just seeing women in their swimsuits that they get so excited that they just pop off in the swimming pool. Wow. I mean, it could be her. I don't know, Ray. Her experience could only be with 14-year-old boys. If women are in a phase where they are sexually active, such a pregnancy may occur. No one knows for sure how men react to the sight of women in a swimming pool. Yes, we do know how men react to a sight of women in a swimming pool. It's depending on the woman. Damn, she's hot. I'd like to bend her over the railing right now. Then for other women, it's like, spandex is a privilege, not a right. You should be wearing a full-body burqa. Okay? It's not, oh God, and then happens in the pool. That's not what happens. And women who are sexually active, is this how they get people to not have premarital sex? If you're sexually active before marriage, you're going to get pregnant by swimming in the pool with men. Come on. The Indonesian Doctors Association told the Jakarta Post that women cannot be impregnated in swimming pools. Well, okay. Fast. Ray says, fast times at Muhammad Ibn Richmond High School. Women can be impregnated in swimming pools. It's just usually there needs to be penetration for them to be impregnated in swimming pools. So let's get that right. They cannot be impregnated in swimming pools the way that they're talking about. Indonesian blogger doctor called Blog Dokter said in response to her claims, once again, I remind you, if you do not understand health problems, it is better to be quiet, instead of your comments causing anxiety and panic. I will emphasize here, swimming with the opposite sex will not cause pregnancy. Not all men who swim ejaculate, and sperm cannot live in a chlorinated pool water, let alone swim into the vagina. It's spelled Dokter. So this blog doctor just shutting her down. I can't. When there is a flood, ordinary people save ourselves and other valuables. City's wisdom. Please separate men and women so that no one gets pregnant. And then there you go. That's how it happens. Yep, Man Squatch, Ray, that's exactly what happens. Alright, let's finish this up. This is just stupid. She has faced ridicule on social media. Photos have been uploaded of her shaking hands with a senior commissioner with the reflection of pool water pasted over the top. One Twitter user wrote I already read that. A cartoon strip has also been posted online showing a woman getting pregnant after she enters floodwaters with a man. The chairman of the KPAI, Susanto, has issued a statement saying her claims do not represent the view of the organization because she made us look fucking dumb. Where we hereby state that KPAI's understanding and attitude are not reflected in the online news narrative. Miss Hikamawati issued an apology on Sunday. I apologize to the public for giving an incorrect statement, she said. It was a personal statement and not from KPAI. I hereby revoke the statement. I plead with all parties not to disseminate it further or even make it available. Please stop pointing out the stupidity that I unleashed on the internet. Please take it down. Don't spread it around. Miss Hikamawati, there are two things that the internet never does. Forget and laugh. Or not laugh. Okay, three things the internet never does. Forget, not laugh, and troll. These things are going to haunt you for the rest of your life. People will be talking about it. You will go to a party 20 years from now, and you will meet a quote-unquote millennial of that generation, and they will say, hey, aren't you that lady that said women can get pregnant for swimming in pools with dudes? And you will have to relive it all over again. Oy vey. Yeah, if I can... Hold on, let me see if I can download it. I will post it up in the Discord. Alright, there you go. It has been posted in the Discord under memes and pictures. Oh, I just put it... I can ping everybody if you want. Alright. There. Everyone can laugh. Okay. So we're going to move on from that. Alright, so this is a real quick one, and this was brought up last week. We've heard a lot about Trump supporters. We've heard a lot about Trump supporters being attacked. You know, the one getting run out, or the one that had the dude in the van who decided to try and kill 6 volunteers. This was brought up last week, so I found the article. Unhinged. Trump haters filmed themselves running bicycling kids off-road in apparent politically motivated attack. Well, that one was a van apiece, not a truck apiece. So these two fucking wannabe yahoos, who look like they are of the millennial persuasion, on top of the fact they definitely look like they're woke. 2 adults in Indiana have been charged with multiple felony counts after they allegedly committed a vehicular attack against 2 minors who were riding their bicycles along the side of the road. In what very much appears to be a politically motivated assault, the local press has come to has some of the details of the incident, which also includes violent threats made on camera. This is ugly, dangerous stuff. Alright, so here we go. Felony charges have been filed against a Hobart couple accused of running twin boys off the road because they had pro-Trump flags attached to their bicycles. Oh, okay, real quick, I'll get to this in just a second. Coming back from errands yesterday, Ishtar and I are driving back home, and we're at a stoplight, and I happen to look over at someone who is driving a van. And I see in the back window, it says Trump 2020. And I thought it said Keep America Great Again. And I pointed it out to Ishtar, and Ishtar basically said, that's brave. And I said, yes it is. Especially where we live. We got closer to them so I could actually see what it said underneath. The bumper sticker in the back of the window said, Trump 2020. Make liberals cry again. We tried to catch up to him because I wanted to roll down my window, give him the rockin' on sign, and say, it's fucking hilarious, keep it up. But I think he kept trying to edge closer because I had my window down and I thought he thought we were going to yell at him for his bumper sticker. But yeah, make liberals cry again. I thought that was great. Snapchat videos helped officers secure charges against Kyrene Gregory Perry Jones and Kaylin Marie Smith. Jones is 23, Smith is 18. And they're gonna have a pretty decent record on their hands. In connection with the July 22nd incident, police said, "Y'all scared, just like your president. America's not great, fuckers." I'm saying what the explicitive, I believe, is. Smith could allegedly be heard saying on a Snapchat video obtained by police during the incident. At one point, Perry Jones asked one of the boys if he was a Trump fan, and he said he was, records state. Perry Jones and Smith have each been charged with 2 counts of intimidation and criminal recklessness, all felonies. They were also charged with 1 count each of theft and criminal mischief, which are misdemeanors, court's records show. Good. It gets into more of what was said. So, as I mentioned, much of the encounter was caught on camera by the perpetrators. I don't understand what these idiots have in their heads that are basically saying, like the dude who tried to kill 6 elderly volunteers in a Walmart parking lot with a fucking van. He videotaped it while he was doing it. And the only reason he didn't get all of it is because his battery ran out before he crashed into the tent. These dumb fucks, not only did they record it, but they uploaded it onto Instagram. You are not going to get woke brownie points by trying to kill someone because you think Orange Man bad. Like, for fuck's sake, people. Nathan, I wish I knew why they record this shit. They think they're going to become the next viral sensation. Well, they are going to be a viral sensation. He's going to be a bottom bitch in prison, and he's going to get quite a few of those viral sensations. She's going to end up licking so much carpet that her tongue isn't going to work when she gets out. Look, these people are fucking insane. They're morons. They think that they can become the next big star because they listen to people on Twitter who don't understand that there are consequences for your actions. Because people, they believe the woke Twitterati about how because it's a Trump supporter, they have to be racist, they have to be sexist, they have to be evil, so we're going to do something about it. They believe they're fascist. They believe that these kids are fascists because they support Trump. And they gotta, as Ray said, bash the fash. So Snapchat, I'm sorry, not Instagram, Snapchat, my bad. Whatever the fuck. I'm surprised it wasn't on goddamn TikTok. Snapchat video obtained by police shows the Malibu, driven by Perry Jones, swerve the wheels sharply, as if he saw the boys and wanted to hit them with the vehicle, while yelling, "Y'all better go get home," court records state. Let me try and do a... I don't know if I can do a squeaky enough voice, so I'll do a typical black dude. "Y'all better get home." Court records state. Perry Jones and Smith allegedly yelled expletives at the 2 teen boys and demanded that they pull that flag down. In the video, police said. Perry Jones allegedly threatened to beat the boys up for calling 911. In the video, Perry Jones also said that if police questioned him about it, he would just say the boys called him a racial slur. Because that, in his mind, do you understand that? There you go, Nathan, right there. To answer your question, that is the reason. He thinks, because Twitter says words are violence, that him trying to kill people with his fucking cock, he would be justified specifically because they would have... He said he would say they called him the N-word. Well, you're acting like one. You must be one. During the encounter, Perry Jones allegedly drove his car through several yards, chasing them. Drove through several yards. One of the boys told Detective Smith snatched their flag while filming the video. So they chased after the car. Only after the boys threatened to call police did the couple drop the flag and intentionally run it over with their vehicle before fleeing the area and then uploading it to Snapchat. So Guy Benson apparently said something earlier. So Guy Benson reiterates 2 points that he made earlier this month in covering another violent vehicular attack perpetrated by a leftist who is also connected to Antifa and had crazy Antifa eyes against Trump. supporters. First, the terrible actions of specific individuals do not represent their entire side of the ideology or partisan spectrum. That I do agree with. People are held responsible for their own actions. Sparky, my man, what's up? Long time no see. It's unfair to exploit awful incidents to score cheap points and blame the rhetoric or beliefs of nonviolent opponents. Such guilt by association is a cynical and demagogic silencing tactic. And second, if two adult Trump supporters had done exactly this to two Democratic minors, especially if there were racial components at play, it would be a major national story. He's right. Now I hold them responsible. I hold them responsible for exactly their own actions, their own beliefs, and believing all the shit that's on there without being smart enough to realize it. But I also believe that if the situation was reversed and it was two white dudes in a Malibu and a black kid and a black female or and a white female on a bike that were supporting Hillary Clinton, it'd be all over fucking news everywhere. Sparky said, all right, I will watch that later, Sparky. So that's just so there's a little bit more. We'll continue on, but yeah, if this was reversed, you know for a fact this shit would be all over the news. The president's climate of hate would be blamed. Journalists would be demanding comments from Republican politicians from all over the country, and every Democratic candidate for president would have issued statements and tweets about it. But much like the recent episode in Florida, coverage of this alleged crime has received relatively muted coverage. Our self-appointed civility cops are off duty. You want to listen to me react? Alright, I'll do it after this. I'll also note that both the Florida and Indiana cases, the alleged assailants made videos of their own assaults, which strongly suggests to me that they were convinced of their own righteousness. They likely either wanted to relive the attacks or expect to receive social approbation for their conduct based on the badness of their victims. Think about that. Finally, in case you missed it, I'll leave you with a brutal tweet that underscores just how quickly leftist violence can be flushed down the memory hole because the narrative doesn't fit. Steve Scalise retweeted this. Keith Ellison said, I have never seen Bernie Sanders supporters being unusually mean or rude. Can someone send me an example of a Bernie bro being bad? Also, are we holding all candidates responsible for the behavior of their supporters? Waiting to hear. And I think Steve Scalise did the because the van guy is the one who was a Bernie bro. Oh, and the Trump campaign reminds us that another pro-Trump minor was physically assaulted by an adult in New Hampshire this month. I'm sure a bunch of MAGA grown-ups attacking liberal kids would be met with similar crickets. Is it stream safe or not, Sparky? Because this is gonna be the last thing I do, and then I'll make my closing stuff. Because it's almost that time. It is not okay. So do not listen to it. No. Do not listen to it. So sound off, I guess. Aha. Sparky, are you trying to get my... Do not show. Okay. Are you trying to get my shit banned? Alright, hold on. Yeah, this is definitely not safe for work. I'm glad I'm not showing it. No. Oh, I can't even play the sounds for this. I'm glad I have my speakers shit muted. Sparky, what did you fucking send me? Oh my... I will link it. I will link it in Discord for you guys. Ooh. All right, okay. Here I will share the link in Discord if you guys want to see it. It is definitely in the not safe for work channel. Sparky, you are a bad boy. Oh my. That's the episode that caused them to stop production on the dub. I understand. I gotta make sure it's not playing anymore. Okay. That's, wow. Watch at your own risk. Turn my speakers back on. I couldn't even, guys, I wouldn't have even been able to play the noises. Woo, that was a little spicy there, Sparky. It's not porn, but it's damn fucking close. So, alright guys, let's break this down. Come down off of our high from talking about the idiot left. We've been doing a lot of that today. I'm not surprised. Like, I enjoy talking about politics, if you guys can't tell. So, here's the thing. It's going to continue to get crazy. Exactly, because it's an election year. And because of that, people are going to be even more crazy. So there's a lot of stuff you guys need to watch out for. First and foremost, don't always believe everything you hear from the media, especially with something like the coronavirus. All right? Actually talk to doctors, talk to people who know what's going on. And if they start telling you that this is something serious, you need to actually understand how to prevent it. And like I said before, all you gotta do is wash your hands, take showers, have generally good hygiene, and have a decently working immune system. And coronavirus shouldn't scare you. But because it's an election year, be prepared to see more of this stuff where they're going after Trump supporters. Because if the Trump supporter is scared, they're not going to vote. This is the mentality. If the Trump supporter is scared, they're not going to vote for Trump. They're not going to show up. They're not going to do what they need to do to get Trump reelected. Don't let them scare you. If you haven't registered to vote and you don't want Sanders to be president, register to vote. I normally am one of the people out there that basically says a single vote doesn't matter. In this case, I still believe that the vote doesn't necessarily matter in the long run. It's more to show the crazy regressive left that it's not, you can't scare us. You cannot scare us from doing what we want to do. and vote who we think we want to vote in. You cannot physically hurt us. You can't be... Stop projecting your shit onto us. You're the fascists. You're the ones who are trying to shut down free speech with violence. You're the ones that are trying to hurt people because they like someone's ideas who disagree with yours. There's a lot of stuff around now that you need to be careful around. And I honestly want you guys to be careful. The saying is keep your head on a swivel. And it's definitely something you need to do. All right? You need to be aware of your surroundings. Because these people like to blindside you. Now, there was... if you have a license to carry, Nathan, carry. The Second Amendment rally was a perfect example of why carrying makes people a lot more respectful. There was a point in time at my work that Ishtar and I were afraid to speak up because there were we went through an ethics I guess meeting, whatever, that was hosted by HR, and basically HR was telling us what we could and couldn't say, what we could and couldn't do, what you could or couldn't be fired for, that kind of stuff. But the one thing that they didn't bring up is politics. And being a conservative in this day and age right now is very dangerous. Well, I talked to HR. I went and asked her very plain and simply, what about political allegiance? If you're a conservative, it's hard to talk about conservative politics because you have so many people who are willing to jump down your throat. Guess what? Me just talking to her, she put it in the notes. She put it in the rules. After that, the people who are conservative that we hang around, we talk openly about it. And guess what? The people who were very, very, very far left progressives that in our workplace, yeah, we get dirty looks every once in a while, but they don't say anything anymore. We're standing up to them. Right now they're bullies. You stand up to your bully. So, the best thing I can say is keep yourself safe. How's it going, King Vegeta? You're catching the show just at the tail end of it, man. But nice to see you here. There's a lot of people who are conservatives, but they don't speak up. So don't be afraid of these idiots. Register to vote. Vote in Trump if you want Trump. Vote for Sanders if you want Sanders. If you honestly want Bernie Sanders as president, I'm not going to tell you don't vote for him. Hell, vote for Klobuchar if you think she's going to win. I know there are people out there who are still going to be voting for Yang even though he dropped out. It's fine. Politics should not be this serious. And my last, final bits of advice. Don't put frozen potatoes up your ass. And, ladies, stay out of swimming pools with guys. You know that's how you get knocked up. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. See you later, guys.